Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Yeah, I say channel. Anyways, guys, before I start, I just want to say, guys, please give us a thumbs like, hit the notification down below. If the my nose is pouring. My mouth hurts, so work with me. If the subscribe button is still red, make it gray and join the Wild Six family. I should wait till I have a buzz going before I do this because my mouth is starting to act up again, guys. I don't understand. My medicine does help, but if I miss it once, just one, I have issues. So yeah, it's no fun. So I'm starting to hurt again. So I better do my video now, the ones when I talk a lot in it, because I know I'm not going to be able to do it because my mouth hurts. The only time I'll be able to talk a lot is if I'm drunk. And I did pull out some Smirnoffs so they can warm up because it hurts right now. Anyways, I am about to watch Netflix, and I am about to, I've never seen the show, so I thought I'd try it. I am about to, just relax for a little bit, and pretty soon I'm going to make some boiled eggs because my kids love I make tuna sandwiches, so I'm going to be doing that and cut some celery, which I will do. But this video right now is about I don't have depression, but I have anxiety. You guys can't see me. I like to talk with my hands. I have anxiety. I was going to talk to you guys about that and how I got it, when I got it, and what I do to cope with my anxiety. So, I don't know. Maisie was up here on the bed. I do not know where she's behind me. There she is. Jazz is on the floor. Anyways, my life story basically, when I was 18, I got pregnant. By a man, obviously. By one of the guys who was basically one of my first true loves. So, he ended up getting locked up. He was only 16, 17, something like that. I don't know, guys. It was a long time ago, okay? And I was pregnant. He got me pregnant. He didn't know he got me pregnant. That's the thing. We'll get to that point. Well, he got locked up to Boys Town, and we talked every day. And one day he just stopped talking to me. So I thought, okay, maybe it was over, right? So anyways, I ended up moving on, and one day he showed up at my work, and he's like, I'm back for you, and I'm like, crap. So I was like, hey, I told him I was married and pregnant, and I really was. I got married, and I just married someone because I was pregnant, and I needed a man in my life to help me with this baby. So anyways, I lied. Basically, I didn't lie, I just didn't tell him it was his kid. But, he kept coming over the farther along I got pregnant. The baby, my son's dad, even tried to show up, but the guy I was married to scared him off, and then I never saw him again. It's crazy, because he was one of those guys that I loved so much. I miss him. I would dream about him when he disappeared for many years of my life, because we've known each other for a long time. But anyways, I didn't tell him he was the father of my son until maybe in 2005. I told him that he was the father of my kid, and he was upset that he didn't get to know him, blah, 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 blah. My oldest son found out. I don't even remember when he found out, but I know he found pictures. I don't even know how that happened. My mom knows that story more. Anyways, so then I stayed with this guy, and I wasn't happy when I was with this guy. A lot of things went down, and started at age 18 when I was even pregnant. Things happened to me. I got beat while I was pregnant with my first child, and it was a very rough pregnancy. I almost lost my oldest son. I was maybe 7 months pregnant. I don't know, 8 months. I don't know how far. I was far. And the guy I was with kicked me really hard in the belly, and my baby didn't move. So I ended up in the emergency room, and he was fine, luckily, thank God. And so then after I had him, maybe it wasn't even a year, I think I got pregnant again. And of course, but this was by my husband. He ended up beating me. Like, always was beating me. He beat me the whole time I was married to him. But I lost this baby. I had to deliver him. I was at one of my oldest siblings' house, and I delivered there because it was small enough just to have there, and we did a burial for this baby. Don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but... So then, anyways, this is going to be a long video, guys. I'm sorry. Then, I had a couple that, it was pretty bad. Then I got pregnant again. So then I was like so excited, of course, by my husband, and I was still in a really bad relationship. I was still being abused. He beat the crap out of me. I mean, this guy beat the crap out of me even when I was breastfeeding my son. I mean, guys, it's horrible. I went through so much, He made me snort drugs. He made me do drugs while I was pregnant. I mean, he beat me so bad. I mean, this is many years ago, guys. My oldest is now going to be 20. So this is like a long time ago. And every time he did beat me, I did end up in the emergency room a few times, and I had to lie and say I tripped and fell and hit my head, and the doctor's like, yeah, okay. They knew how he was. He had a past record of being crazy, because literally he broke the doors at the emergency room out of anger because they would not refill his prescription because he popped pills. So anyways, I get pregnant with my daughter, and I'm excited. Find out I'm having a girl. See, I wanted all boys, but then when I found out I was having a girl, I cried of happiness because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a girl, someone to, I could talk to my girl problems, I was excited to have a girl. When I ended up having her, excuse me, sorry, I was lucky. She came out very healthy and everything. I was beat the whole time, of course, pregnant with her too. I was beat after I had her. I was beat all the time. But she meant the world to me, I lost my oldest son the first time he got taken out of the home from me when he was 1. And then I got him back. And I lost him because of my husband at that time. I lost my kid because of him. And then the second time they took him out of the home, it broke my heart. He was 2, and they wouldn't let me have him back. They told me to do everything, and I did everything I possibly could to get him back. And finally, I went to parenting class twice. I got a certificate for it. They said that I'm a fit mom. They said I had to leave my husband too because he was crazy. Because he was constantly beating me, guys. He made me feel really low about myself. He made me feel worthless. I would have left him a long time ago, but he told me if I left him, he would kill me, la da da. He's told me a whole bunch of crap that he scared me. I mean, I was a small girl and he was a big guy, so I was literally freaking scared to leave him, and my mom, my parents actually helped me get out of this relationship with him because, it's sad, it's like, he got sent away a few times to go get help, and he literally cheated on me. He cheated on me constantly. He was constantly having sex with, every little hoochie, anyone. Even for drugs. I mean, it was pretty bad. And he even went to this other town to get help, and he was sleeping around with the workers there. And when I would call, I'd be like, I'm his wife, let me talk. Oh no, he's too busy screwing around. I mean, it was bad. These girls were unprofessional. They were young, little sleazy bitches. Yeah, I said it. But I mean, they wouldn't let me talk to him. My dad got on the phone and flipped out. So then, it's like, whatever. When he gets back and all this shit, we had our first fight when he got back too. I mean, it was bad. I mean, he got out of the shower, he got home, got out of the shower. I got my ass kicked because I found a porn magazine thing, piece of paper, a naked girl or whatever, in his pant pocket, and I got my ass kicked because I found it and I asked him questions. That wasn't the only time, guys. I found him in our bathroom, hidden away at our old house. Oh, no, hold on. But, so then my parents told me this guy, literally, I worked at Arby's, and I would work all day And then I would come home late at night, and he would be drunk with all his guy friends, passed out while my daughter's running around in a poopy diaper with a rash. You know, I had to take care of everything because he was not a good man. He literally, like, I mean, there's just so much. I mean, this is how my my anxiety happened, you know, because he would take my checks. He would come to my work yelling at me. He did a lot of stuff to me that made me feel worthless. I ended up getting on medicines because of him, because I felt so low about myself. You know, he said no other man would want me. I'm worthless. You know, my brother moved in and took care of me while he's out partying. I mean, my brother took a lot of care of me when I was close to being due with Jillian. He was there for me the whole time. My brother was just like, he was amazing, guys. I have this one story I will never forget. I went to go close my bedroom window, I was closing it, and my finger got stuck in it. I could not get my finger out. I was screaming and crying. My brother jumped up. He had to get the window up, and my fingers were all messed up. He rushed it under the cold water. He kept them clean. He took care of me. And where was my husband at the time? Out, probably getting laid, you know, doing his drugs. It was like 3 a.m, guys. You know, and then there was another time I sliced my finger open. I actually have a scar. I don't know if you can see it. I have a big scar right there on my finger. I was picking up Jillian's, I don't know, she was in the car seat, and I went to go pick something under the stove, and I got it stuck, and it ripped it open. It literally ripped up it was horrible. My brother was there, luckily. Of course, he was the only man in my life then, you know, because my dumbass husband was never around. He rushed me over to one of my other siblings' house, and they looked at it and helped it and fixed it up and everything. I mean, it was scary. But so then I had my daughter. Well, I already said that. I had her. She's almost 1. You know, I'm like tired of this. You know, I could not do this anymore. I'm trying to fight to get my son back, my oldest son, and he's making me do nudes to sell pictures on Polaroid for him to get his drugs money. It was bad, guys. I'm just letting you know how bad it was for me. You know, I felt bad about why I was doing this. You know, I was cursed. I had a beautiful body. I was beautiful back then, you know, and so he took advantage of my body to get what he wanted, money. But my parents finally said, if you leave him, you can have this van. It was a van that meant a lot to me because we bought it to go to Disney World a long time ago when I was a kid. So I was like, interesting, because I needed a car. Because I got my grandpa's car, but he ruined it. You know, I mean, every time we got a vehicle, he got rid of it for drugs, or, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, this guy was so low that my mom's Star Wars trilogy, the old ones on VHS, I left them on the porch for 2 seconds. Literally, I walked to my mom's car and like, oh crap, I turned around and it was gone. He said he didn't know what happened to him. He took him and pawned him. So I'm just saying, this triggers to make me lose my mind. You know, I ended up leaving him, and it was the best thing I ever could do, you know, for me and my daughter, to protect her and my son. So then when I get out, I lived with my parents for a while. And then I'm friends with the landlord. He gave me a place to stay at. Grateful I had him in my life. I ended up getting a cute little house. I had it all decorated. I mean, it was amazing. And so I had court, you know, because I left my husband and I had a home and I was excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll probably get my son back. And I had the room, everything so cute. They came over to look at the house and everything to see if it approved. But then we went to court, and the stupid hoochie that was against me said that I wasn't able to handle probably taking care. I was young. I couldn't take care of 2 kids on my own. I'm like, seriously? I did everything I was supposed to do to get my son back. And she said no. So they said, okay, I lost my son for good, but I can go visit. He stayed with my parents. First he did stay with my aunt and uncle, but then stuff went down, so then he went to my parents' house, and so my mom got to raise him, but they said that I was able to have my speaking, you know, I'm still his mom, you know. So, I mean, I'm glad he got to stay with my parents, but I wanted him. I was hurt, so I still tried. I had a job, I had a house, you know. I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? Just because I was young and she didn't think I could handle being a single parent, raising 2 little kids, because, my daughter was 1 and he was like almost 3 or whatever. I don't remember, to be honest, the exact ages. And I was really upset. And actually, I think I was actually pregnant. I was pregnant because I ended up getting pregnant after Jillian too, by a different guy. And because I was pregnant and they didn't think that it would be good or something. I don't even know. It's so long. I just remember I was pregnant again. And I already had to deal with my soon-to-be ex-husband's family in his life and this other man's family. His family is crazy. When his mom found out I was pregnant, I was like 4.5 months pregnant and I was at my own home. She was crazy that there's 2 different stories. Well, one story is actually from my ex-husband. One said that I was doing meth. So they came over, child protective people, and they said I didn't even know. The door knocked, I answered, some man goes, "I'm here to look through your house. We were told you're doing meth." I'm like, what? I got drug tested. I was clean. But they searched my whole house. And they're like, okay, there's no meth. He said, "I'm sorry." I go, "Yeah, it was probably my ex, or soon-to-be ex-husband, because I'm leaving him, la da da." I mean, this guy was crazy, guys. Literally, there's like another story. It was so freaking freezing in our house. Me and my daughter would sit there and cuddle. You could see our breath. It was so cold. And my landlord was trying to figure out what was going on, and he found the problem was like footprints in the snow to where the heater thing, I don't know. He messed up the heater. He shut it off, and he did that on purpose. And it's like, dude, this is your freaking daughter. Why would you do that with your daughter here? I don't know. To me, it's just messed up. I don't care how much you hate me. You do not do that to your daughter, right? But he was heartless. I mean, he literally broke into this other guy, which I'll get into another story. Just remind me to get into that story. But anyways, back to I got pregnant by another guy. And I was 4.5 months pregnant. And then she came over, yelled at me, and she pushed me and said that she was going to ruin my life. Once the baby's born, she's taking it away from me. And I'm like, seriously? And it was bad. She was a schizophrenia person. And I started crying. I couldn't handle it. She actually broke up me and that baby's dad. We weren't allowed to see each other. We weren't allowed to go near each other. We tried to sneak up to see each other, but I couldn't do it no more. And I said, sorry. No. So anyways, it's like, then not too long after that, I have another child support people coming over, or not child support, child protecting. They said, "We are told you have no furniture in this house, and you have your daughter, and this isn't a fit home, and you have no food." I was like, okay. And then it was a guy, and he comes in and looks around. He goes, okay. My living room, I had cable, everything, guys. I had a TV on. I had, like, literally a kid show, SpongeBob on and everything. I had kid shows on. My house was spotless. And I wasn't expecting it. It was, like, out of the blue type of a thing. He comes over, looks into my place, everywhere. He goes, "You have a bed in the master room," and I had everything. My daughter had a cute bed, dresser, everything, clothes, toys. The bathroom has got all the stuff it needs, toothbrushes, toothpaste, everything you could possibly think of, I had. Then he went to my fridge, opened it up, and he was like, holy crap. My fridge was literally full of food because I was doing great on my own, guys. Seriously, I was, like, happy. It was just me and my daughter, I mean, yeah, I had parties for people to come over, drink and watch football games and stuff like that. But nothing like drugs or nothing major. But he's like, "I don't understand why we got a phone call saying you had no furniture. This is amazing." I was like, "Yeah, thank you, So he left. Shortly after that, I'm still pregnant, 4.5 months still. Actually, I was probably 4 months then, and then I was 4.5. I don't even know, to be honest. I think it was like a week or two after that, so I was still 4.5 months. I was dating this other guy, and I was hanging out with his best friend, and then this is where my youngest dad comes along. He was cruising uptown, and I was dared to ask him out. And that's why I dared to ask him out as a joke, and he said yes, so I gave him my address, and then my boyfriend's best friend, because you weren't supposed to give out your address, it was just so fun. I'm like, well, I didn't know. And he ends up showing up, and my boyfriend's there, and everything's cool and all this stuff. And then this other guy went crazy on me, because I didn't realize he was doing hard drugs. He literally wanted to kill me and him. I was like, yeah. So I went going over to my Zach's dad. Hold on. Zach's dad, and we started hitting off. But, I mean, things went so quickly. But I was all of a sudden having so much pain. I could not handle the pain because my baby father that I was pregnant with, him or her, I don't know. I should have found out if it was a boy or girl, but I didn't, which I wish I would have. Dad, his mom kept coming or harassing me, yelling at me, and I couldn't do it anymore. And Steve, I said his name, my daughter's dad, his drama, coming over, beating me, yelling at me. He literally burnt out pictures of the guy that was on my fridge, pictures of his face. I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude was crazy. Anyways, I couldn't handle with all the stress, and I started getting really sick, cramping. I was in pain. I couldn't handle it. I go to the emergency room, me and Zach's dad actually, and at that time, me and Zach's dad actually hooked up. We decided to hook up and everything, legit hooked up, because I told him what happened and stuff, and he was pretty cool. He's like, oh, that's cool, you know. So we ended up hooking up, but he took me to the emergency room, and they said my baby is not alive anymore. I'm having a miscarriage, and they gave me medicine to see if it'd come out. The baby will not come out. I ended up having to have surgery to get the baby taken out of me, and it was just like really hard on me because, yeah. So then, like, the baby's dad that I lost, I got a hold of him. He came over. I showed him the papers. I said, I'm sorry, because he was looking forward to having this baby. I said, I'm sorry I lost the baby, blah, 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 you know, and he cried. He was upset. But I think it was the best thing, because his family was crazy. And then, a few months after that, I don't even know, actually, when it happened, me and Darren, he asked me to marry him, and all this stuff. I'm, like, excited, and I'm like, yay. So, I ended up getting pregnant by him. And I was like, okay, this is what I wanted. I finally found a good man. This guy, guys, seriously, my youngest son's dad is an angel. He is a sweetheart. He's caring. I mean, but I was obsessed with my ex still, unfortunately, and I wanted to name my baby after my ex. I mean, yeah, it was wrong of me, so he assumed it wasn't his baby. I came home, and there was a note hanging from my ceiling fan that it was a long letter saying that it's over, but if it's his kid, he'll help me out with the baby and all this stuff. Oh my gosh, I broke down. I'm like, oh great, just great, you know. I don't have the baby's father in my life. I was like, okay, more anxiety. I was freaking out because, you know, I got attached to this man and he left me. I went looking for him. I kept calling him. I couldn't sleep. My friend came over. He tried to calm me down, and I was just like, I couldn't do it anymore. So then he came back a few times or whatever. No, I actually went looking for him. And I went to him and found him, and we had the greatest night ever. And I was so excited, guys. I was like, oh my gosh, he's back in my life. Because the next day, he came home with me. You know, we did what couples do and everything. And then he ended up taking me and my 2 kids to McDonald's. We had our last meal. I didn't know this was going to be our last meal. And he ended up leaving me. And I was like, okay. I broke down crying again. I was like, okay. Then we argued, and I was grabbing him to stay. I didn't want him to leave. We ended up in the emergency room because I started bleeding a little bit. This was the first time he saw the baby bouncing around at me. The baby was fine. Shortly after that, I don't know, I was at these classes that I had to go to, and all of a sudden, blood was gushing out of me. And I'm like, oh no, I'm pregnant. I don't know. I rushed to the emergency room. One of the people there, she took me there, and the nurse was like, oh yeah, your baby's dying or dead or something. I mean, it was horrible. She was not nice about it. I cried some more. I came out of the bathroom. I mean, literally blood everywhere. It was just like gushing. And the doctor came in, which he's a good man. He's been in my life for quite a while. He's a good man, guys. He came in there and said, you know what? Let's check. Because the nurse told me right away, the baby's dead, you'll be sad, la da da. He's like, comes in, he goes, I think we should check. We did ultrasound, and my son is literally just bouncing around in my stomach, and he's like, oh, your baby's doing good. And I'm like, yes. I was like, thank you, Lord, but I had to be in bed rest. So that's when I ended up having to move out of my house, unfortunately, and I had to move into my parents' house because I'm in bed rest, and my dad didn't know. My dad didn't even know that. I don't even think my dad knew I was pregnant. I don't know. But I was laying around, and my mom was bringing me. My mom is an angel, guys. Seriously. I'm gonna cry just because she is like the best. She is like the coolest lady I've ever met. But I was supposed to be bed rest. My mom would bring me my food. My mom would bring me anything I wanted. She would sit there and play games with me. She's fun. She's like a teenager, guys. She is the most goofiest lady in the whole wide world. So you guys would love her. She's still a teenage fun person, actually. But anyways, she was taking care of me. My dad was getting upset. Jill could get up and do her own stuff. You know, he was getting mad because his wife was doing everything for me. You know, taking care of my kids because I couldn't really do anything. That's when my mom was like, "Oh, my daughter," or not my daughter, Jill. She has to be in bed rest. She's pregnant. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Pregnant?" You know what I mean? He's like, "Whatever." And then he didn't get upset after that, you know, because he's like, "Great, Jill, you're pregnant again?" You know, because I've been pregnant so many freaking times. But I had to stay in bed rest, and my mom and it was awesome. I stayed with her, actually, until after Zach was like, had him in September. I moved out in November. But anyways, then, I kept trying to get a hold of Zach's dad, and we didn't, nothing, and he would not talk to me. So then I ended up meeting another guy. I know, guy. And I have really bad anxiety because of I went through so much because when I was a kid, I had a perfect life. I mean, I thought it was perfect. My mom was fun. We clean home. Everything was awesome. You know, we traveled, and all my cousins, and we had family get-togethers. And, I mean, we had a good child life. And so I didn't think I'd ever get depression or not. I don't have depression. It's anxiety, you know. Anxiety attack. Like, I freak out, I panic. And so that's like, I can't be enclosed. I can't be smothered because I was beat so much. Like, I was tied down beat, and so being tied down beat, you can't move, and so I freak out. I don't know if anyone's gonna make it this far in this. I hope you guys make it this far, but that's why it's like, please, I cannot be smothered. I cannot I hate the word bitch, because when people call them, that's what I heard, die bitch, over and over again, choked, you know, there's things that I just can't handle. I used to not be afraid of heights, I used to not be afraid of snakes, mice, any of that stuff. Now I'm really scared of. I freak out bad. I can't handle heights at all, whatsoever. I cannot do heights. But, anyway, so I met another guy, and he's amazing. He took me in with my kids, you know. I mean, he lived in a different town, and he would come down and visit me, and finally he ended up moving down here. He lived with us in my parents' house, got a job at the same place as my dad, worked there, saved up money. Then we got our own apartment. He was there for me when Zach was born. He was there when I was pregnant. I was happy. I was like, yay, I finally found someone that is going to treat me good, but I didn't want to get my hopes up, because it seems like every time I get my hopes up, the guy breaks my heart. So anyways, we got a place and everything, and then we got another apartment that even was bigger, and then we bought a house together. He's actually still in my life. Actually, I was with him for now 15 years. He's the one that I actually got married to 2 years ago, actually. We were together for 13 years, and then finally we got married. Had the most beautiful wedding ever, guys. It was so gorgeous. It was my favorite color, light blue, and then white. And I had a white dress, he had a white whatever they're called, and blue underneath. I mean, it was beautiful, and our reception was the most beautiful thing ever. My family, his family did it. We didn't know. It was a surprise. You know, I will never forget when I walked in and how beautiful it was, and it was the most beautiful wedding ever in the world, guys. I mean, people loved it. And you know how, like, us women that have to wear wedding dresses, you know, we have to pee. We have a designated person to take us pee. But instead, he did it for me. My own husband would go to the bathroom with me, lift up my dress, and help me. I mean, it was so sweet, you know. And but yeah, now we're still married. It's been 2 years. So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at on the weekends, you know, when I'm not around. But anyways, I did get pregnant by him quite a few times. I lost all of them because I did get my tubes tied. And so that's the only reason why I lost all of our babies, is because when your tubes are tied, you can get pregnant. But if I've had my tubes tied since, holy crap, since 2005, 6, 5. Because I ended up getting my tubes tied in November. After Zach was born in September, I ended up getting my tubes tied. But we ended up having, later down the road, we ended up having quite a bit miscarriages. In fact, I just had a miscarriage not too long ago, actually. This is how, like, why I freak out easy. I mean, I went through so much, you know, and ups and downs with guys, and I was scared of men for a long time. I mean, I still kind of, like, I get scared. Like, even with Robert, I get worried because he's not abusive. He's a good man, you know. He spoils me, he takes care of me, and it's like, I don't want to get attached. I said, because I just don't want my heart broken again. I've had my heart broken so many times, or so many guys played me, used me, beat me, and it's like, Robert just seems too good to be true, guys, because he is an angel. You know, I met him online, and he ended up coming down here, and he didn't know I was married when I met him. I ended up telling him shortly before he came down here. I said, by the way, I better let you know I have kids and I'm married. I keep that private. And he was still fine with it. And he drove 13 hours to get here, and then he never left again. I still have my anxiety really bad, and he understands. He's been there for me. He's amazing, guys. I mean, I'm gonna see if I even post this video. It's already like 30 some minutes, but if I do, I do. I don't think anyone's gonna make it, but my anxiety, it's what I do to cope with my anxiety. I pray. I'm a Christian. I love the Lord. I really do. I pray to Him, to God, and when I have anxiety, I'll pray to God. I'll go to Sam, or I will go to him for a lot, because he's been in my life for 15 years, and he knows every little thing about me. So I go to him. I go to Zach. Zach helps me, like, if I feel like I can't breathe, I run into the room with him. I talk to him. Not too long ago, a few months ago, I had the worst anxiety, and I ran into his room, and I was gasping for air, and Zach knew I was having an attack, you know, and I sat there, and I was praying, and then Zach cheered me up. He shows me, like, he was showing me, like, Mickey Mouse art stuff. I don't know. He was just, my kids know what to do to get my mind occupied, you know. It's just, I'm grateful for the kids I have, because they know I cry easy. I'm happy, but I cry. And I take things more serious than personal. I hate the way I look. It eats me up alive, because I have gained weight, and I've been made fun of. They're internet people, but I've been made fun of. That's why, you guys, that's why I'm not in her videos, because I don't like the way I look. And I was in one of them, and we took it down. Actually, we deleted it. I told him to delete it. Robert deleted it. I was doing a mukbang with Robert and spicy noodles, and I was eating, and I guess I made a face, and she screenshot it, and she posted all over the internet, and some guy I know on the internet showed me the picture, and she called me some pretty harsh names underneath it, right by my picture, and of course it looks horrible because I happen to be opening my mouth eating or whatever, and so she makes fun of me, and so I couldn't do it anymore. That's why I don't want to be, and that's why I don't want people to pressure me in it. I wish you guys would make it this far, but you probably won't make it this far. Maybe if I can remember 35 minutes. I explained to you guys that that's why I do not want to be in our videos right now. I'm trying to get my weight under control first. I mean, I'm not like 600 pounds. I mean, I'm not fat, I mean, it's just I got a little bit of chubby, and it just like my face, kind of a little bit chubbier than normal, and I just don't like my face, and it makes me feel ugly I don't know. I just don't like the way I look, and that's part of my little anxiety stuff, and so it freaks me out when people say, let me see you, then my anxiety raises. It's like, I can't do it right now. So, this is how my anxiety started. I was beat a lot, I went through a lot, I was strangled a lot, name it, and it happened to me out of my mouth. So, that's why it's like, I get irritated like with Robert, because he likes to smother me a lot, and I can't breathe because it's like, because all the experience I've had, when I can't move, makes me think, of my past, and I hate it. Like when I'm playing zombies, when I'm being stabbed over and over, it freaks me out because I can't move, and so it's like, that's how it was when I got my butt kicked, I couldn't move, and so that's why I don't like to be stabbed playing zombies and stuff, because and that's why I don't like to leave the bus. I mean, excuse me, I got left behind and it freaked me out. I don't like to be left behind. I get scared to be left behind. That's another fear I have. I don't want to be forgotten, left behind, because my first husband left me behind a lot, and it hurt. He would always go out and party, and I was stuck at home. So, I mean, it's just all this, if you guys think about it. It really hurts. Like, it's so hard to explain. And you guys probably think I sound like a big baby, but no, I've experienced so much since I was 18. When I was 18 years old, and that's not how I pictured my life to be, My 21st birthday, I'm supposed to go to the bar and get free shots and have fun, but I wasn't. I was at home taking care of my kid, my daughter, because my oldest was already gone, but, was I pregnant? I don't even remember. I can't even think straight. I just know I didn't get to go anywhere, but I know that he was gone a lot on my birthdays, so I know my 21st birthday, I'm pretty sure I was alone, but it's all good, it's like, I had no friends anymore. I lost all my friends. I had lots of friends. The only friend I really was still in my life, I have a couple friends still, guys. There's two other ladies I talk to. One, mostly hardly never, and then one, we still talk, and I've known her forever. And the other one I worked with at the schools a long time ago. We stayed in touch. Bill was basically my only last friend, my best friend. He was in my life for so many years. I mean, many years, like over 17 years. I don't even know, guys. Me and Bill could never figure it out because we were like, duh. I don't even remember his birthday, and he's my best friend. I mean, I think now I do. It's October 25th, I think. But anyways, Bill was always there for me, and I was grateful that he got back in my life again, and he means a lot to me. Bill's like the bestest guy in the world. But I'll do another video on Bill. This one's just about my anxiety, and then I'm going to do a little special thing for Bill, how I met him, and all of our funny memories. I'm going to do that for something special for Bill. But right now, I'm just talking about my anxiety. So that's why I have it, guys. So work with me. Don't rush me into showing myself. I freak out everything about my health. Everything about my health. I used to not be like that. I think being beat and harsh drugs that he made me do, my first husband a long time ago, kind of messed me up, and I was already had a learning disability because I was born dead, so I already kind of woohoo. But except for what I'm saying, oh yeah, like my mouth, it hurts off and on really bad. So then I freak out and I'm like, oh my gosh, is it cancer? Everything, I always think it's cancer, so I'm scared. That's a fear I have. Cancer. My lungs hurt. Do I have lung cancer? My side hurts. Do I have, I'm always worried about my health. And that's another thing I hate. But I pray. And the thing is, God, how do I say this? We all get pains for a reason. We all get hurt for a reason. God has a purpose all the time for it. So my mouth, there's a reason why I'm having this. I don't know why, but I need to be patient because it will, I think, go away. I mean, hopefully. But this is how I got my depression, or I don't have depression, guys. I really don't. It's anxiety. This is how I got anxiety, and this is how I cope with it. I pray to God, and I turn to my kids or to Sam to help me. Now I can turn to Robert too. He's starting to get to know me more. But that is what I do, and this is my story. I will do another story, guys, about Bill. And I know there was another story I was going to do, but I don't remember right now. But I am sorry if the story was long and boring. I don't know if you guys are going to make it this far. But I just thought you guys would like to know. The cool thing is, guys, my youngest son's dad is actually now in our lives again. So we actually talk now. It's nice. We text each other, and he's come down here quite a few times, and it's great to have him back in our lives. And he's an amazing guy, and he gave Zach some money for his birthday, and he's always paid child support ever since Zach was born. I mean, he's a good man, guys. He's I would have to say he's the best father of all my kids. He's a sweetheart, and I'm the one who ruined that relationship with him. My bad. But he's back in our lives. He'll come and see Zach, and they'll play games together, and we'll go out to eat. And he's actually stayed in town before. He doesn't live here, unfortunately. He lives 3 hours away, so that's all I can say. I mean, no one knows where we live or whatever, but how my mouth hurts. But he's stayed down at a hotel before, and he went bowling with us. I mean, see, he's done stuff. We went out bowling and out to eat, and a few times just me and him and Zach would just go out to eat, just a little family thing, and it's nice. And then come here and he plays video games. He's actually been here to the new house, so he's got to meet the baby, and haven't seen him for a while because the virus stuff going on. He's got to be careful because he's got, I think, heart problems, so it's best that he stays. But he's a good man. He's caring, and he looks a lot like Zach. Or Zach looks a lot like me, but he also looks a lot identical to his dad. It's crazy how much they sit there by each other, and it's like, oh my goodness, you could tell they're related. And it was so funny because he didn't think it was his, but when we did a test, the person said that this is the highest they have ever seen, a test showing that it's his kid. I was like, whoa. But, and it's crazy because his dad is 6 foot, so he's a tall guy, and Zach's actually taller than him now, and Zach's only 14, so he's like 6'1" or something now. So, yeah, he's a tall kid. And it's crazy. My youngest was only 5 pounds, 6 ounces when he was born. He was a tiny, tiny little booger. And now he's the tallest one in my family of all my kids. Huh. Pretty cool, huh? Anyways, I guess I better end this video because it is now 44 minutes long. And usually you guys don't even watch 2 minutes of it. So I will be shocked if anyone actually makes it to the end and listens to my whole story. So, I mean, if you guys ever want someone to talk to about depression, anxiety, I'm the one you can come to because I've experienced so much. If you're girls out there that are in an abusive relationship or have been and need someone to chat with, hey, I'm the girl to talk to. I've been through hell. So, I mean, I can help you. And you know what? Crazy thing is, girls that do get abused, get out of that relationship. Trust me, you'll find someone better. Even if they say you won't, you will, because I did. I was told nobody would want me. And my life has gotten so much better the more. I mean, yeah, I went through quite a few men to find my way up there to get to where I'm at. But I am like the most happiest girl alive. And I mean, I got a beautiful home. You know, I got a hot tub, guys. I mean, I got a swimming pool that's not set up yet. I have grandchildren. You know, I have 2 beautiful grandkids. You know, I mean, have some awesome animals. I mean, look at my dog. And my other dog's on the floor. She's been in my life since 2008. You know, I'm glad she's here. So, oh, excuse me. It's nice and sunny out. I should go out there. I am just, like, very grateful for everything, guys. For what I have now. I mean, I walk around here thinking, it's like, how lucky did I get? Except for, there is another story I will have to do, is tingles and lighthead and dizziness. I have to sit, hold on. This happens to me. That's another story I'll do. What goes on with me, with all the shit, with my whatever, I can explain to you, which is another one I'm going to do, a Bill video, and my tingles experience is explained to you about that. So, but I love it here. And my plant, guys, I cannot figure out my plant. I'm just trying to get it to work, and I don't know. Maybe I'll do another video talking about it, and maybe somebody can suggest to me what I can do to revive this little booger. I don't know what to do. I'm bringing it. Oh, if you want, look at this ring. My oldest gave it to me for Christmas. It's a mood ring. So, it's kind of chilly out, y'all. So, come on. But I'll probably be doing another video. I'm just going to post this and do another one. So guys, if you haven't yet, give us a thumbs like, hit the notification down below. Subscribe if that thing is red, make it gray. I am going to go have some drinks. Sit in the room, have some drinks. See, I pulled out some Smirnoffs so I can chug them. Robert is going to go at 8 o'clock to go get some beer and some wine for me because of my mouth. So, no Jazzy. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to me blab. I will do 2 more other videos down the road about Bill and my tingles. And I love you guys, and thank you for all your support. Bye! Oh, later y'all. Peace.